then what happened with you as a former quarterback,
well, I'm just happy to keep it down the middle, okay?
Oh,
that's about it.
But, Ryan, kind of get us caught up on what you're doing. I mean, I kind of told some of the guys, but for our audience, it'd be nice to know what you're doing these days.
Yeah, I'm just I'm living life. I'm a dad. I'm a dad to a 3.5-year-old. That takes up most of my time. But 2020 took a lot control away from us. So 2021's really been about kind of taking that back, right? I'm diving into the podcasting world. I started my own YouTube show called the RDL Show, kind of in the vein of Pat McAfee and Rich Eisen. We're starting from the ground and. We've been on the air for about a month, and it's been great. Guest hosted Rich Eisen last week. Been doing that for him when he's out of town, and then hopefully, back to it after COVID has settled down. Calling games for ESPN next year, the next fall. That would be it. But mostly, for the pandemic here, I've been a stay-at-home preschool dad, which has been all right with me.
Are you doing any speaking engagements? I know you and I share an office with Tony Mandarich, and I know he's doing some of that. Are you doing any of that stuff?
Yeah, I try, but it's been incredibly hard with COVID because I feel like my story needs to be told in face to face in front of people. It's the palpable one, and I've kind of if push came to shove, I've been doing some virtual things, but I really want to get back out there. I'm hopefully going to get vaccinated here in the next couple weeks, and hopefully I can start making more of my life again, because I was doing a lot of that the last 3 years. It was a huge part of it, probably anywhere from averaging probably around 30 to 35 speaking engagements a year the last 3 years.
Ryan, it's Manuch, and I commend your courage for getting out there and talking about mental health and the struggles that you've been through, because you've been down that road and you've healed that way. I see you're at 9 years sober, which I think is absolutely awesome. But I commend you in reference to the mental health piece, because I grew up with a mother that was schizophrenic, depressed, and all that stuff, and it was just very interesting to see how you bring that together. That there is help and there is life after depression.
Yeah, I mean it's everybody deals with it. It's not this isn't the stigma is what has stopped us from moving forward a ton and has put us in a ton of fear. And so, we've seen more and more people come out, shine a light on it, and I just, I feel like I can be more impactful doing that. Yesterday was my 9-year sober birthday. 2 days previous, 9 years ago, I was, I got pulled into a police station and booked, and I woke up on the prison cell floor the next morning. That's day one, and I know most people think that when they wake up and that's day one, that they can't see day 3,288, which was yesterday. And so you don't have to. You simply don't. You have to try to put one foot in front of the other today. And I guarantee you, if you do that and do the next right thing, that you'll lay your head down. And if you just press repeat, good things can happen. I am a walking, talking example of that. Our sponsor Funfair is a big part of that too, of what I put in my body. It's the nutrients that have changed the way I look at things too. So it's all about well-being, because ultimately, as I talked about, the most important thing in my life right now is the 3.5-year-old boy, and I want to be around. I'm going to be an old dad, right? I'm going to be an old dad.
Sure.
I didn't have him until I was 41, so I want to be around. I want to watch him grow up. I want to be an old dad to him, and to only do that is to put it all on me. Put all the onus on my wellness, my mental health, all of it, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy waking up and having energy and choosing to be happy and choosing to trudge forward no matter the circumstance of the day.
Ryan Leaf joining us here on Fox Sports 910. Ryan, as we get ready for the draft this offseason, a lot of talk, 5 quarterbacks who might go in the top 15 of the draft, and then there could be a long gap for the 6th quarterback. But just curious, because a lot of pundits, they have Trevor Lawrence first, but then that's where it gets tricky. Is it Justin Fields or is it Zach Wilson? Could it be Mac Jones, Trey Lance? What is your order right now?
Well, my order is a little different. I suspect that Zach Wilson's going to be the number 2 overall pick.
Okay.
Whether that's the Jets or not, I don't know if you guys saw, but the website for the New York Jets for the upcoming season tickets still has Sam Darnold
Yes.
on the template. So, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I know there's a new coach and a fan base that wants forward motion with something new, a rebirth. But I think that Sam Darnold can be the guy with a new offensive coordinator and a new mission and a new forward thinking. So we'll see. But I suspect my order goes Trevor Lawrence 1. Number 2 for me is Justin Fields. I think he is, by far the best quarterback, second to Trevor Lawrence out there. I mean, he made the Clemson defense look absolutely foolish in that national semifinal, and I mean that's as close as you're going to get to an NFL defense and what you do, especially with that crew with Brent Venables, the defensive coordinator for Clemson, marking things up and making things difficult for you. And then I'm gonna step out of the box a little bit. I'm Davis Mills or Mac Jones for me is 3rd. Zach Wilson is 4th, and then 5th for me is a guy named Davis Mills out of Stanford.
Okay.
And then Trey Lance, just because I don't know enough about him. I've watched enough film, but he hasn't played for over a year. His only game back was hit and miss. His pro day looked great, but everybody's pro day looked great. Hey, people, my pro day looked great. Marty Schottenheimer said my pro day was the best pro day he's seen since Troy Aikman. So, that doesn't do a lot for me. So that's the way my list goes. The sleeper in all this is Davis Mills. He has first-round talent. He has the same kind of ability as Andrew Luck did. He just did not play at all, right? He started 12 games there because of injury and Costello being the quarterback there and how that was going to go about. So I was hoping he would come back and play another year, but he wasn't going to take a chance with any injury. And boy, his pro day looked great, throwing in the rain. If a team were able to move up, maybe late in the first round or early second round, if like a team like the Jets, if they want to pass at 2 and take somebody and get some draft equity and have that second pick in the second round and take somebody like Davis Mills, I think you will get a comparable quarterback as they would if they took Zach Wilson at number 2 overall with not the amount of expectations. Very reminiscent to Drew Brees, first pick of the second round of the San Diego Chargers back in the day.
So, Ryan, you've got Mac Jones at 3, and there's been a lot of talk and debate on whether or not that's the name the 49ers moved up to go get. So since you have him at 3, could you envision the 49ers giving up the haul they did to move up to number 3 and having him as the heir apparent to Jimmy G in San Francisco? Can you see that working with Shanahan?
Well, we know that they fell in love with somebody. Otherwise, you don't make this move. And they've said they're taking a quarterback. They're keeping it pretty close to the vest, though. It's going to be one of those other 3. Now, the question is which one. So we'll know, here at the end of the month, which one that is. Now, this falls into a couple categories because now the Jets know what the floor of a trade for the number 2 pick is. Watch for Atlanta getting into the mix of that because Atlanta now can go up and get their quarterback if the Jets don't do something. I would have expected that the 49ers did reach out to the Jets, and the Jets weren't willing to move there, so that leads me to believe they're going to stay put at 2. We'll see. But I don't know where they're going to go. I would go with the guy that you see that fits your offense the best. And if you look back through the years, it's been it's been Matt Schaub in Houston. It's been Kirk Cousins in Washington. It's been Matt Ryan in Atlanta, and Jimmy Garoppolo in a year that he's played a full 16-game season got to the Super Bowl. So if you're going in that kind of vein, then it probably fits pretty well with Mac Jones.
2 minutes.
And not necessarily Justin Fields or Trey Lance, but either one of those could fall into place right there because you don't want to feel like at any moment you passed up on somebody like a Patrick Mahomes type, and I think a lot of people are comparing Justin Fields and Trey Lance to what that young man down in Kansas City is able to do.
And then you got Jimmy G. He's kind of the de facto for now. I can't imagine them bringing in Mac Jones, and I completely agree with your assessment with Mac Jones and the fit that he is for that system with Shanahan. So for Jimmy G, show up, do your thing, and hopefully like Aaron Rodgers, when you got a first-round draft pick behind you, play as long as you can, or do you think there's an end game with Jimmy G after this year?
Well, we'll see. It's hard when it's much different than what Kansas City did. which they moved up the day of the draft, but only to 10, and take a quarterback that a lot of people didn't really fully understand or know in Patrick Mahomes, a guy that would sit for an entire year because Alex Smith was so good in that offense.
1 minute.
Right? This is going to be an issue in San Francisco if at any point they struggle or Jimmy G in particularly struggles. Because when you take somebody third overall, it's much different than when you take somebody 10th or in Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love's situation when they take him, 20th, 22nd, something like that. That's a much different conversation to have. You're investing a lot. You've invested a lot. You traded away a ton to do this. So it's going to be a very uncomfortable situation if Jimmy G doesn't meet early expectations there in the Bay.
Ryan, as we let you go, we wish you and your family obviously a great weekend with Easter here. But tell everybody how much weight you have lost since you started Funfair.
I have lost 75 pounds.
Wow.
I was 220.
Wow.
I was 223 pounds today. What it really is telling me is that my body was just begging to have that weight off me, though.
Yeah,
It was, and it was all about, because it came off immediately as soon as I started eating appropriately. And the great thing about Funfair is they deliver the food right to your doorstep. So every morning I wake up, I go down, I have the nutritional value, the calories for the day, and I have to follow it, right? And as a former athlete, I like regimented things. I'm not patient enough to meal prep, to go to the store, buy all the things, cook it up on Sunday night so I have food ready for the whole week. I'm not. I know myself well enough that I won't do it. I will frickin' call, I'll get online and order DoorDash and get a Crunch Wrap Supreme from Taco Bell because that just tastes better to me if I don't have food ready. So it's made a world of difference because it's been all about the food. I haven't had a chance to work out. LA has been shut down. Gyms have not been open. So I haven't worked out once since I started this diet July 3rd, 2020 until now. I go on, I walk a ton. I walk around my home here in Beverly Hills, and the streets are flat, and I can walk around in at least 2 miles a day. And then I've been playing, I play a bunch of golf. But that's it. It's really been all about the food, and I can't recommend Funfair better. And all you people listening there in Phoenix and the surrounding areas, you're in luck because it's only in LA and in Phoenix right now. So let's have a healthy 2021 together.
Absolutely. Ryan, thank you so much, buddy. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for the time.
You bet, fellas. Have a great weekend.
You too. That's Ryan Leaf joining us, brought to you by Sunfair. Go to sunfair.com. And you mentioned Fox Sports, and you'll get 10% off. It is great. I've gotten it. You get the food delivered in the morning, a big green bag. It's just awesome.
It's a lot of food,
and
man.
it's just ready to go. It's not like you got to do
Great.
anything. And it's obviously 70-something pounds. Jeez.
That's amazing.
So this